Okay, so let's talk about the newest One Piece chapter, One Piece 1060, and we can go right away with talk about obviously spoilers, talk about Sabu, and we we see that the Navy headquarters in the New World looking for what Sabu can be, and they say that Sabu are in one of the kingdoms that rebel against the world government. And so we see that, and obviously, so it's interesting. The thing here is interesting that we also who I think is Vegapunk. We see that they use that in the end of the chapter a weapon that destroy the whole island. That's something the dark clouds come up and then the whole island is gone. And so this whole chapter is more about sailing. We see that the Straw Hat pirates sailing through a new like ice islands, just with ice, and yeah, we also meet a one of the worst generation is somewhere in the water, and all of these kind of things. They talk lots about Monkey Luffy tell his crew member about his about Sabu's dream that Sabu was from a rich family, and Sabu's dream was to sail around the world and written a book about what he see in that world. That was Sabu's dream, and obviously a big reason for why I think why Sabu joined the Revolutionary Army was because of that he see what he was forced to do when he was a child. He don't want to see anybody else have the same fate, and so obviously there is now is like some more like rebellions against against the world government. For many of them, do not want to be forced to live under the world government's thumb, and obviously because they want to rule themselves. And obviously that kingdom that Sabu hide in is I think is very much like inspiration from Wallachia, that was a medieval kingdom in Romania, and obviously Wallachia is also very much famous for Vlad the Impaler, and obviously Dracula, and so obviously that I think that is that kingdom is inspiration from Wallachia. Yeah, and that kingdom is destroyed in here in this chapter, and obviously him or Vegapunk, aka, are responsible for that destruction. So they use some of their ancient weapons. So it's absolutely a big possibility here that the world government control the ancient sky weapon, specifically Vegapunk, obviously. Um, so we have Pluton, and Pluton is in Wano, and then we have Poseidon that is underwater. That is the big mermaid, and then we have the sky weapon. The sky weapon, I think, is Vegapunk control, and that is like in the judgment of the gods, the punishment, and it's not a divine thing. It's just a weapon that can attack people from above down to the earth, but it have nothing to. It's just yeah, I think it's a big energy bolt that destroyed the whole island. Like really destroy it, like in 1 second. Um, so it's yeah. So everybody obviously that's also an interesting thing. Is also I think when Monkey Luffy say that his end dream is to be the king of the pirate. I think many of them in the of the Straw Hats get very shocked because I don't know why, but I think if I'm not really totally wrong here, that they have never heard that before. He's never said that before to them, and that only this is the first time he says it to his crew. But he obviously the people that know that was his two blood brothers, Ace and Sabu, and obviously Shanks. Shanks is the first one that he tells. No, I'm like sorry, that that is wrong. The first one is Ace and Sabu that here the Monk Luffy want to be the king of the pirates, and because he meet them first, then before he meet Ace, and yeah, I think so. This like the Sabu. I don't think. Obviously, I don't think Sabu dies here. When the island was destroyed, I think in some way he find a way to escape in some way, and so we know Sabu can turn himself to flame, with his Mira Mira fruit. So obviously, even if he maybe have enough time to turn himself to a flame, and then turn him back again to himself, that is a possibility. Use that transformation in the right time before the item was totally destroyed. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a it's okay chapter. I think it's good to see. Also the art style. Obviously, that we see more of like the with the ship. Going through different places, and one thing, other things that I think is funny is that we can see one of the Sea Kings totally knocked out, and the ship just go by it with all of the ice, and so maybe they will go to the giant's place because I think there with the big giant. That is a possibility. I don't know. And then obviously in the end of the chapter, as I said before, they see Jewelry Bonnie captured in like a whirlwind, like a water cube in a way. And obviously the other fun thing is that we see when Sorrow help her, and Sanji just run to him and say, don't even dare to leave any scratch on her. Obviously, like I think, yes, sorry, Sanji is sometimes over the board with his like chivalryness. I think that is the thing here. Yeah, he's a bit over the board that he thinks that Sorrow is like a brute, and he don't trust Sorrow be around women. I think he's just a big brute, and obviously Sorrow don't absolutely don't care, obviously, and obviously with when Monk Luffy hears about Sabu's that he are that he are accused for killing Cobra, and they are also very sad to hear that Cobra's daughter are missing, Vivi, and yeah, so obviously obviously we know that Sabo is not the one that kills Cobra. Even if Sabo maybe hates kings and rulers, but that is a bit, if we say so, it's a bit hypocritical of him, because the ruler of the revolutionary army is Dragon. Okay, Dragon is not a king. For now, he is a king. Maybe in the future in the story, he maybe is a king from the ancient kingdom, and with like Roxy Dissebeck and this all of this kind of thing. But the thing here is that Cobra is not a celestial dragon, and the person I think it kills Cobra, I think, is always a different speculation, but one of the speculation here is that this is Katrina Devon. That Blackbeard have give her the order to kill Cobra and transform herself to Sabu, and then so the world government will blame Sabu for that, and then the world government will attack Sabu and later on attack the revolutionary army, and that helps the Blackbeard pirates to push one rival off the road to continue their driving. And I think that is the one speculation here, that the Blackbeard pirates know that in somewhere where the Revolutionary Army are is one of the very rare poneglyphs, but they have to weaken the Revolutionary Army before they can strike. So obviously we know that the Blackbeard pirates like to strike without any warnings. Yeah, so that is, for example, one, I think maybe one reason for why Blackbeard in the chapter before want to have Boa Hancock's devil fruit. Maybe one thing can just be like this, like a very simple thing, that he just wants to smash people in lots of things, like he wants to turn them to stone. Then he wants to use his like his Gora Gora no Mi, his Trumble fruit, that is earthquake fruit, to just destroy them when they are turned to stone statues. That can just be like that. He just wants to use lots of destruction, and this kind of thing. Yeah, I think this chapter was okay. Was not. I more prefer the chapter before, chapter 1059, but this chapter is okay. Yeah, and that's just everything I really want to say about this chapter. Okay.